Hi, everyone. This is Kathy Pabst with the IDD Resource Guide Podcast. And today we have our special guest, Sarah Dion-Brooks Shriver with the Inner Garden Center for Mind, Body, and Soul. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
So I'm very excited to have you on here because I feel like this is a topic that a lot of IDD parents and caregivers don't think about. And I'd like to remind them that there's different tips and tricks that they can do to help them have inner peace, calm, and just get through those day-to-day stresses. So to start off, can you let everybody know all about you, what you do and your specialty?
Where do I start? For the Inner Garden Center, it is a company I started, and I have different aspects of it. And one of the aspects I do is a coaching program called the Inner Garden Coaching. And I work with my clients to help them create a vision. And in that vision, it is on a journey to continue to nurture their inner garden, to find peace in their life, to heal, through traumas or hardships, or to learn how to respond versus reacting. And it's really about coming into ourselves and being able to find that peace there. And I use NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, and so we really focus on the words that we're speaking to ourselves and how we can flip the switch with those. And that's a huge aspect of it. And I also do yoga, mindfulness, meditations on Insight Timer. I am a meditation teacher on there, so you can find meditations there. And I really just believe in all of these beautiful natural healing modalities, and I love to incorporate all of them, into that. So I work with my clients one-on-one in that area.
I love that you teach techniques that as you practice them, as a person practices them, um, little reminders to help you deal with stresses to make them easier the next time and remember it. So to maybe let's talk about a couple of techniques or that you prefer or that your favorites that are something easy that parents and caregivers can do when things aren't exactly going their way or they have high stresses.
The very first one that pops up in my mind is pause. So stop, just take a deep breath. That costs nothing, and just let it go. And as a caregiver or as a parent or anyone in that IDD community, definitely if they can start themselves with the breath, it's going to definitely help bring that moment. Because if they react, then the other person's probably going to react based on their energy because they sense energy very well. And so if the caregiver and the parents and the family members can start from a place of breathing and peace and calm, it's going to start better. So definitely having everyone involved just start with the breath. And then if they can help um, the other ones start to breathe, pause, take that deep breath in, slow it down, maybe focus on one thing, focus on something on the wall, focus on anything. As we know in life, a lot of stuff is not in our control. Most things are not in our control. So, what is? Breathing, pausing, not reacting, responding from an absolute place of love, not frustration, not anger, just allowing yourself to sit in the present moment. And that's what I would
That
start
is
with.
so true. That's such a good technique because um, when you have a child or you're a caregiver of an adult or a child with special needs, they react and they can feel. They're very intelligent and they can feel what we're feeling. So I love that is one of my favorite techniques that you teach. Um, and then it's great for our own mental stress and our mental health and we get a better reaction instead of adding to behaviors that the person might have.
Yeah.
Um, I know one of your other techniques that I love, and you can bring this up, but I love how you have us, if negative thoughts are taking over, you
Hmm.
have some great tricks
Yes.
to combat them.
Well, there's a lot of them. The first one is stop. Stop the flow of those thoughts because first become mindful. How do you feel when you have those thoughts that are low energy? I like calling them low energy and high energy versus negative and positive. I think positive words can get an actual toxic positivity of just be positive, just be positive. Well, I think more than anything, just focus on what energy you're feeling. And if you were spiraling down with those low energy thoughts, like, oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated in this moment. I can't do this. I can't do this. I mean, really become mindful of what you're saying and then stop and say what you want instead. So instead of saying, I can't do this, say, and if you can't think of anything, take a deep breath in and hold it and say what you want. Say, this has been really hard. What can I do to get through this? I mean, that's right there is a little bit higher energy. You could even say, actually, I can do this. And that's, even a better thing because what we say, we're listening. Our subconscious, our unconscious mind is listening. And when we are focusing on what we don't want to happen, like, oh my gosh, I don't even want this, or oh, I don't want this, I don't want this, we're attracting that. And I don't think a lot of people realize this because one thing I love about NLP is if I were to tell you right now, don't think of a blue car, do you automatically
Think of
think
a
of a
blue
blue car?
car.
So when you think about the word don't, our subconscious mind or unconscious mind isn't paying attention to the don't, it's just hearing the other part of it. So if we're always focusing on what we don't want, we're actually attracting more of that in. So if we want to have more peace in our life, we need to be attracting more of that in and just being present with it and start by focusing on turning those words around or flipping the switch or whatever you want to call it. Catch yourself when you can become aware that you're feeling lower energy and you can stop and go, okay, what am I telling myself right now? There's a lot of voices and programming that you've had, or all of us have had since we were tiny children based on the people and the surroundings that we had growing up. One of my big voices was like, what I do doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, it must not be enough. It doesn't matter what I do, it's never going to be enough. That is a phrase that has gone through my head so many times. And so I continue to practice when I start to spiral, stop, Sarah. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. Everything's working out for me. I'm exactly who I need to be. And so it's like I'm my own cheerleader, or my higher self is my own cheerleader, and it's just pouring love on. So again, rather than reacting from a place of fear, you're learning to respond from a place of love and focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. And I see this really could apply to working with the IDD community because if you can help yourself first by focusing on what you want to achieve, because these are family members, these are beautiful souls that function differently. They function on a different spectrum. And so it's like if you can understand yourself first and become aware and mindful of where you're feeling that tension in your body, breathe into it, breathe out to it, have some love on yourself, and then teach them to help love as well. Because again, they're going to reflect a lot of the energy that you're pouring out.
I absolutely love that. And I absolutely believe that. A lot of times the energy we put out, they can feel sometimes tenfold. They're hypersensitive
Mhm.
to it. Those are such good techniques. And let's say, what are other ways that parents or providers can um, maybe, are there, if they're a more physical person, let's say workouts or they like to be outside, other techniques like that
Oh, yeah.
that you would recommend?
Taking walks, exercising of any kind, anything that's going to be healthy for both of them. I mean, again, first, if we're not taking care of ourselves, we're not going to be able to. We've all heard it before. We've got to take the oxygen mask, take a deep breath of that first before we can help anyone else with theirs. And that includes everybody, and especially with the IDD community. So working on ourselves, getting any form of exercise that you can. You have this experience as well with you and your own family. So what is that helps you, doesn't it? Taking those walks and does that help your son getting out there?
It's amazing how the walks were to be physical, to get him a little exercise. But the other benefit that I don't realize that we got from it was his mental health, my mental health, and then the whole house much calmer,
Yeah.
um, just more at peace.
Hmm.
It's really nice. You don't realize all the benefits of just being outside.
Yeah. And I think something important to remember is being outside, yes, sunshine, yes, fresh air, all of those things, but it's the quality time that you're taking to spend with them that really, really matters. And I think of my children, and my children are not in the IDD community. However, it's so easy as they're growing up to just want to put a screen in front of them or want to not deal with it. And I am totally guilty of that. When I was raising my children, it was the VHS tapes, but or this or the DVDs or whatever it ended up going into. But it was so easy to just hand them those because I was always so caught up in my own stuff up here. But the one thing that my children yearned for more than anything was just quality time. As we got our phones, mom, put the phone down. And now, my youngest is almost 18 years old, and I finally have learned when they're there, be present with them. Again, they reflect so much of that. So whether they're in the IDD community or not, being present with the other person is the greatest gift you can give with them. And if you can walk together and you can talk together, you're not just being out there and get off your phone, put it down, or take some pictures of each other, have fun, but put the phone down, be present in that moment. And you're going to learn so much from that person you're with. And I mean, I would love to hear some of the things that you've learned as a mother of just watching and learning and growing, because it's love. You are learning unconditional love. What else are you seeing and learning?
One of the surprising things that I noticed is he has he's his verbal communication skills got better. And so picture us going for a walk and he says, Mommy, plant, plant, tree, Hayden plant. He
Mhm.
likes plants. And then it started from there, and then him wanting to make conversation with me
Mhm.
and then practicing it. And,
Yeah.
and it snowballs in good ways. So it's
Yes.
interesting that you said that because that was a nice aspect of that I wasn't expecting.
Hmm. Just connecting. It's
Hmm.
just the connection with each person is going to look a little different. You just need to learn the best way to connect. And that goes for all of our relationships with people, whether it's our children, our spouses, our partners, our siblings, our parents, whatever. What, love language do they speak? And can we just be present? Can we have quality time with them? And like you said, he lit up and he was learning words and just being present. That's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to think about your directive is to do this, but you get a much bigger gift than you expected.
Hmm.
Another thing that I like are some of your techniques are um, even essential oils, smells.
Hmm.
Um, Talk to us about that and how they help.
I'm still learning essential oils. However, I have just in the last 6 months started, as part of my Inner Garden Center, I've started making products called Inner Garden Herbal. And so I'm using all organic based oils, coconut oil, olive oil. I'm infusing flowers that are organic or wild crafted in them. And then I make different creams and ointments and things because I truly believe that there's so much healing power in plants. And I think that it really does affect us. And our environment affects us. The foods we eat affects us. And so I really, I'm learning more about what essential oils, I don't feel like I'm an expert level on that, but I love adding some to it because I know how I feel when lemongrass oil or whatever. I know that there's some things that bring more peace. There's more calming effects. There's essential oils for stomach aches and headaches and all sorts of beautiful things. And so the more I learn about those, the more I apply those. So you absolutely could have essential oils, infusing in your home to bring more of a calming, peaceful thing. I happen to love the smell of citrus, like lemons and oranges. So I love it. And I'm very happy when I have that smell going through my house. I think there's something that it does for the brain as well, the essential oils. And again, I love love natural products because I feel like that's healing the outside of the body as well as the inside of the body because you're not putting anything toxic. And I know you and I've talked about foods as well because when um, what we are eating is going to affect our moods. And I've been my own guinea pig on that one because I have a sugar. Let me rephrase this. I'm going to catch myself right now. In the past, I've had an addiction to sugar, but I'm doing better today.
Mhm.
And there
Mhm.
are moments when I cope, and that's what I turn to. And there are different forms of sugar that affect me differently. Chocolate doesn't seem to bother me as bad as when I go and eat a bunch of red vines or gummy clusters that are amazing and they taste so good. But I wonder if it is the food coloring. I don't know enough about that, but I know when I eat those foods, I am really moody and depressed, and I will spiral into those low energy thoughts very, very quickly. Chocolate doesn't bother me in that same form. So just again, becoming mindful, and I'm not saying, not to eat this or not to eat this, but as a human being, become mindful of how your body's feeling when you put certain foods in there. And if you're noticing those mood shifts, what did you eat? Was there something that bothered you? And then think about that with your child or, you if you're a caregiver, what are we feeding the kids? Are they reacting badly? And I know it seems so simple and it seems like, duh, don't feed kids sugar because they're going to go crazy. I mean, and then yet we do all the time because again, it's kind of like the easy fix of like, oh, it's a treat, it's a treat, it's a treat. And yet, what is it really doing to our brain and to our body? Is our body really processing it? There are healthier sugars, and I still eat it. I'm not claiming that I don't. I'm just learning to really observe, especially when my mood spirals, because if it's affecting me and I'm a fairly healthy human in that sense, and if it's affecting me that much, could it be affecting other people more? I don't know. This
Yeah.
is just an observation of, and same goes with anything that you're putting in your body or on your body. There might be an essential oil that you love that someone else might not. Just becoming mindful of those things.
I know I had to experiment with different essential oils with him. Um, none of them reacted badly, but some worked better to calm him and
Hmm.
than others did.
Yeah.
And certain foods, and it's easy as a IDD parent to go to think, oh, it's not affecting them, but we don't know because we're not feeling what they're feeling. So you just think, just eat it or just take it, or it's what they'll eat and I can't get them to eat anything else. But a lot of
Hmm.
times, incorporating something good um, will help, or
Hmm.
something a healthier option.
Yeah.
But it is true. It's with anything, test it, try it, see what happens. Wait, just like when they were babies and they turned 4 months old, and you had to give them one food and then wait 7 days.
Hmm.
And it's the same thing. Oh, I love that, Sarah. And another thing I wanted to talk about is I want to talk about I want to go in with your product, with what you carry, what you do, and kind of give you the spotlight to um, let people know where they can find you. Um, where they can purchase some of your facial oils. Everything's natural, everything's organic.
Hmm.
Kind of let them know where they can find that.
That was a very good question. I just started it in October of last year. I do a lot of different things, but my main focus in life, I think, is just really helping us continue to heal from the inside out, and that is one of my mantras with the Inner Garden. So I'm a coach, and I have the Inner Garden coaching program, and then I'm also a track and field head coach and a cross country head coach. So I work with middle school kids, for 6, 7 months out of the year, more than that. I love helping people. And so I started this when I started thinking of, okay, athletes are always hurting. What would be a really good muscle rub for them? And so I started making this one and I call it It's a Balm. And I think that's a funny name. And I just chuckle when I think about it. And I've made a couple of messy batches. And so I call them Goopy Balm and Gritty Balm because they turned out a little gritty, but they still work. And I've infused really beautiful plants in there like arnica and calendula and St. John's wort and healing plants that have been around for so long, and you just put them in and you infuse them, and so you can rub them into your muscles with the magnesium, and it really just helps them relax, and it's really good for inflammation, and it's really wonderful. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I love natural healing, and so I mean, I'm not ever going to say to not go to the doctor, but if you can heal something naturally, That's where I'm going to go first. So that is one of my big products. I also have one, and when I say I'm still learning, I don't have a I have a website for my inner garden center. It just doesn't have any of these products quite yet, but I will be on that soon. Email me or message me, and I will figure out a way to get that to you if you're interested. But I have quite a few because I had so much fun making it. I started out with lip balm. Loved making the lip balm. Had so much fun with it. I ended up with 150 to 200 things of lip balm because I was just trying all of these different kinds. And so I just really enjoyed that. And I love the lip balm. I made a facial oil that I absolutely love after talking with a dear friend of mine when she told me she made her own. I was like, oh, that sounds so much fun. And I did. And I have lemongrass in it. And every time I put it on, I call it I love my face because every time I put it on my hands and I rub it on my face, I'm like, I love my face. I love my and it just makes me happy. It's like this positive affirmation as I'm rubbing it into my face. And I've been using it since August of last year, every morning and every night, and I love it. So, would I like to say it takes away all wrinkles? Absolutely, I'd love to say that. I don't know. I've only been using it since August. I'm 47 years old. So,
Right.
let me see what else. I have one
Oh,
for,
your social media.
yes. Did you want me to keep talking about products or do you want me to talk about
Oh,
social media?
sorry, sorry. Yeah,
That's all right. I
I've
just
got,
make a lot of different things. And so I
you
don't
can
know if you
edit
want me to
this.
talk about it's all right. Oh, it's okay. But I also have one for dry skin and eczema. That's really nice. It's called Smooth Skin. That has some really good healing properties to it. I have another magnesium oil. I have soaps that I've made. I don't think I'm the specialty at making soaps. I just have fun and I like having my own natural soaps at home. So I have a goat milk soap. I just made a poison oak soap that is awesome. And I need to figure out how to be able to produce it for less money because it's expensive to make, but it's awesome. So yeah, I'm just learning and I have quite a few products, but those are the main ones. My De Balm and my eczema cream or my dry skin cream, or ointment balm type stuff. I have a healing salve. I have a red cayenne pepper salve. I have different things. I make my own deodorant. It's fun. And it's so easy and fun to make. It just takes time and resources. So, I mean, I would probably love to at some point even teach classes on this or just have people come and we can make, herbal medicine together. It's just, I love it. I love doing it. As for social media, am another part of what I do is I'm a singer-songwriter. So I have my singer-songwriter pages on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, Sarah Dion-Brooks. I have my Inner Garden Center on Facebook and on YouTube. So I have some meditations and some a podcast that you and I have done for my company and called To Be or Not to Be. That is the question. And that one's fun. We just process different words and being that. And then I have my Sarah Dion-Brooks Shriver YouTube page and Facebook page, which is just my name and my friends and family, my page. But on YouTube, I started creating videos of just learning and healing and growing. And so I have some different flavors, but it's all me. And in the end, all I really want to do is just spread so much love and healing on this world so that we can just be better humans across the board for everyone. Let's just heal this world one soul at a time. And that's what I want to live my life to help doing.
And that is perfect because that is the that is the thing that I would love for parents and caregivers to remember is to take care of themselves. And if you're happier, your child, the person you're caring for will be happy. And it's nice. And thank you so much for coming on and showing us different techniques. We will definitely have Sarah back again because there's a lot of information that and techniques that we could give you. Um, but we can do more episodes. It'll take a few of them. So we just want to thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom with us. And hopefully we can start using some of these techniques to make life a lot easier for us and a lot happier.
I agree completely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.